Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to the first chapter of ISB535, Introduction to Islamic Financial Planning. I believe everyone have your aspiration. Okay, everyone in the future, when you have money, this is your ultimate aim of financial goal. You want to have and you want to purchase your dream car, a beautiful house, children's education fund. You want to go for holidays and tours, and at the end, after you retire, you want to have a happy retirement where you have sufficient amount of money to live for another 20 years. So it is not easy to achieve your aspiration. All of this requires a proper financial planning, and you need to be very disciplined in order to achieve your aspiration. Okay, why do we learn Islamic financial planning? Because the only permanent thing in life is change. Alright, we involve in changes from day to days. So in order to deal with changes, we need to have a good planning so that we can become more prepared. To face any challenging demand, challenging situation in the future. Because when we talk about life is uncertain. Something bad or something which is risky might happen to our life, and if we do not prepare our life, we do not prepare our financial capacity, so your life will face some difficulties. So our mission is where we all want to have a worry-free life, and also to have financially secure life. So in order to have this kind of living ataupun life, it is important for you to have good financial planning. So you need to have good discipline. You need to know how much to spend, how much to keep, where to invest your money in order to create more return, and it will help you in terms of your saving. On top of that, when you have a good financial planning, you have good saving, you have good funds, so you would be able to deal with all kind of risks in life. Because when we talk about risk is always associated with a negative thing, some unfortunate event. So in order to deal with unfortunate event, you need to have strong financial background, ataupun you need to have strong savings in order to help you whenever you're in difficulties. Okay, what if financial planning? Simply put, financial planning answers the what if question in our life. What if we do not have enough saving? What if we become jobless? What if we are falling sick and whatnot? Okay, so all this kind of thing require money. Alright. In addition, financial planning also based on our potential earning. Okay, we do the financial planning. We design our financial planning based on our earnings, our income that we receive from our employment, our projected investment, for example, like retirement plan, our expected rate of return from the investment you made, your children education plan, predicted expenditure, monthly installment for your house, your car, and other financing, accumulation of asset, and setting up of our financial goals. So these are the important things that you need to consider when you coming up with your financial plannings. The most important one is your earning. So you need to spend your money according to your income, and you need to design your financial goals based on your income and other bonus or return from the investment that might help you to achieve your financial goals. Now, what is the definition of financial planning? So we can say that financial planning is an effort by an individual or corporation in managing the financial affair to meet their life. Financial affairs includes how you are going to spend your income, to pay bills, to pay for your installment, to do for shopping, to keep some money for saving, or use to the money for investment activities and whatnot. So you need to manage all the financial affairs in order to meet your life goal. So this is what does it mean by financial planning. Next one, financial planning can be defined as the development and implementation of a plan of action to efficiently make the most available resources to meet your financial objective or goals. So basically, what does it mean here? You need to create your financial planning, right? Create the plan, and also after that you need to implement what you have developed. Okay, so your action is very important because you need to make sure all the available resources, mean to say here, your financial resource. So you need to make sure all your financial resources recorded in your planning and how you are going to use your financial resources in order to meet your goals. Okay, so that is the financial planning. The keyword here is you develop and you need to implement. Okay, but people have a lot of problems. They're able to develop the financial plan, but they cannot implement the plan because they're having difficulties to discipline themselves to follow what they have planned. Okay, and the last one, financial planning is the process of determining whether and how an individual can meet their goals through proper management of financial resources. When you prepare your financial planning, you need to implement it. So when you have implemented, you can track back your financial spending, your financial resources and whatnot. So from the record of your spending, at the end of the day, you will look whether you are able to meet your financial goals or not. Okay, if you are overspending, something needs to be taken. This is where you need to reduce your spending and revise back your planning. Okay, so this financial planning process will help you to achieve your financial goals. But if you fail to follow your financial plannings, there is a possibility that you cannot achieve your aspiration in the future. The concept of financial plannings includes the first one, cash flow and liability management. So this is where you will look on the cash inflow and outflow, and also you look on your liability. For example, like your financing or loan or credit card. The second one is insurance planning. It is important for you to get insured in order to protect your savings. The third one is investment planning. Investment is very important as well. So this is how you can get more money from return on investment. Next one is tax planning. So this is one of the compulsory requirement by the government. This is where you need to pay tax to the government. But there are some tools that you can use in order to reduce the payment of tax to the government and whatnot. Next one is retirement planning. So this is where you need to make sure when you retire at a certain age, you have enough money to survive. And the last one is estate planning. So this is where you are going to distribute your asset to other people through will, through faraid and whatnot. Financial planning skill. As the management of fund may take time, skill and knowledge, therefore not many people are able to manage it without the help of others. Thank God for you, you take this subject and you are going to learn about the financial planning skill. Not everyone has the opportunity to learn about this skill, but you are here now, so you need to take this opportunity to learn this subject very well. Alright, out there in the industry, it is not cheap yet to learn about this subject, and please do make sure you get this opportunity, learn your very best from this course. So a person who performs the management of financial condition of another is called a financial planner. Okay, financial planner is a good job opportunity nowadays. Okay, a lot of people are looking for this financial planner to help them to prepare with the financial planning. Okay, this person who plan a financial planning for other people, we call them financial planner. Okay, you help the customer to and come out with the good financial planning for him, where he can make sure where you can make sure your customer able to achieve their aspiration of financial goals. And Security Commission Malaysia also defines a financial planner as a person who analyzes the condition of another person, and later on he will provide a good financial plan to meet the customer's need and financial objective. Concept of Islamic financial planning. It involves the effort by individual or a company in managing their financial affairs in according with the Sharia to meet their life goal. So it is important you as a Muslim or you as a manager of a company to follow the Sharia rules in managing your financial affairs. Meaning to say, every financial activities needs to follow the Sharia rules. Because if you do not follow the Sharia rules, it is not good for you as a Muslim. It is very sinful. And as a good Muslim, it is compulsory. It is mandatory for you to become a good Muslim. Similar to the conventional financial planning, Islamic financial planning also involves the activities of managing cash flow and debt, protection, investment, payment of tax, preparing fund for retirement, and asset distribution. But there are some additional activities for the Muslims to add in their Islamic financial planning, and this includes planning for Hajj, payment of zakat, takaful planning, and also asset distribution according to Sharia. For example, like hibah, fara'id, and wasiyat. The main concern for a Muslim investor. So whenever you want to invest your money, you need to make sure you invest your money in halal investment. So this is because you want to make sure all the income received from the investment return is halal. Okay, and the financing in conventional, which is called borrowing, is also not compliant with Sharia. So if you want to get credit financing from bank, look for the Islamic financing, because the Islamic financing from the Islamic bank follow the Sharia principle. And the most important one is there is no element of riba in the financing activities. Therefore, it is very important for a Muslim to be aware and understand all this area to make sure you can achieve your financial goals. In fact, awareness and the involvement of these activities, in addition to the understanding of Sharia element in financial planning, are some form of ibadah which is rewarded in the hereafter. So make sure your financial planning follow the Sharia as what have mentioned in Islam. So in order to manage your financial affair, you need to work hard and you need to involve in activities that can generate more income. Be a wealth people. Generate as much as possible income so that you can help yourself, you can help your family, and you can help others unfortunate brothers. Okay, so once income have been generated, you need to carefully spend the money, avoid waste, and at the same time you need to keep some of the money for the future preparation. So all these basic necessities is very important in Islamic financial planning. So the Quran also have mentioned something that relates with the financial planning. The time verily man is in loss except those who believe in Islam and do the righteous good deed and recommend one another to the truth and recommend one another to passion. In this surah, it mentioned on the importance of time. Therefore, it is important for you to set your financial goals in life. If you do not have any goals, you are having no planning in your life. So basically, goals will provide you direction where you have. So it is important for you to have financial goals, because goals will provide you direction. If you are not having any goals, your life is not going to anywhere. So don't waste time and appreciate what you have in your life. Plan something so that you can work into that direction. And here we have another evidence from Quran, saying that whoever works righteousness, man or woman, and has faith, verily to him will we give a new life, and a life that is good and pure, and we will bestow on such their reward according to the best of their action. Surah An-Nahl, ayat 96. So we learn how to work, how to live in good moral and manners, and the benefit will come to you. So this is evidence from hadith, and you can read this. Okay, next one. What we can see that from the evidence in Quran and hadith, you need to work, you need to spend your money wisely, and you need to save your money. So in fact, the important ingredients to proper in your financial planning towards the achievement of financial goals, and this is where it is given in the Quran for Muslim to refer. So on top of that, Islamic financial planning is part of the religion. We can say Islamic financial planning is an ibadah, whereby a Muslim must obtain the skill and the knowledge so that your financial goals can be achieved. This is a financial planning worldview in comparison of capitalism and Islam. Okay, in terms of wealth resources, for capitalism, wealth is a scarcity of resources, something which is limited, and everyone need to strive themselves to get as much as possible wealth in this world. But for Islam, wealth is a bounties of God, no scarcity. As long as it is meant for you, it is destiny for you, you can get it, because it is bestowed from the God. Okay, no scarcities. Every resources in this world is enough for everyone. The second one is ownership of the asset. It is based on the individual freedom. For capitalism, they are concerned on profit maximization. They need to get as much as possible, as much profit as possible for their wealth. But Islam, all the asset, all the wealth is a trust from Allah, and you need to manage it wisely. And most dominantly in financial banking, the ownership of the asset is based on the profit sharing, meaning to say it is not belong to you solely, but you need to share with other people. And how about lifestyle goal? For capitalism, they concern on the personal satisfaction. Okay, they will using as much as possible wealth that they have to achieve, to get what they want for their personal satisfaction. But for Islam, you acquire your wealth, you prosper your life in order to achieve success in the world and hereafter. Next one is life, the style creation. Conventional, they are concerned on the luxurious lifestyle where there is no limit about them, and at the same time they are debt driven. So this is where they apply debt, they use debt in order to buy something, to create style creation, luxurious style creation and whatnot. For Islam, possession has a limit, not to be extravagant, not to be over the limit. Okay, you need to live by your means, not too much in your life when you created your life creation. Next one is means of achieving profit. For conventional, they are practicing risk avoidance. They want to avoid any risk associated with that. with them. Okay, if the conventional bank want to grant a loan for someone, if someone cannot provide any collateral or security, they will avoid themselves from financing this kind of people. But for Islam, they are focusing on risk sharing. Even though you do not have a good financial background, you do not have good credit standing, but at the same time you have a viable project that can be prosperous in the future, Islamic Bank will consider that, okay, and look at your business viability, and they will provide you financing based on your project, and they will practice risk sharing, profit and loss and whatnot. Next one is profit determination. They are based on the ex ante, predetermined in advance. For example, for Islamic bank, they will promise you in advance on the return of investment. But for Islamic bank, they cannot promise something in advance because it leads to uncertainty about the future event. What they can do right now is expose the profit, the sharing of profit will know until at the end of the investment. And when we talk about needs, okay, there are three categories of needs: the necessity needs on the bottom one, the complementary needs on the second level, and the top one is the embellishment level. Necessity things include your basic necessities, for example, like clothing, food, and shelter. Meanwhile, for the complementary needs is all about something which will provide ease in your life. Okay, it is something that deemed to be beneficial to remove your difficulties. For example, like washing machine, it helps you to reduce your difficulties. Alright, it is not luxury things. Washing machine will help you to wash your clothes. And what else? Motorcycle, it will be easy for you to go and back from work. So that falls under the complementary needs level. Alright, and the top one is embellishment level. So this is where you will get something which is luxurious, or something that have a good value or good brand in order for you to enjoy your life. For example, like fancy car, huge house, branded clothes and whatnot. So that falls under the embellishment level. Next one is the concept of wealth in Islam. What is the definition of wealth? So wealth is abundance of valuable material possession or resources. I mean to say, in this world we have a lot of financial resources available. So you need to look for the wealth. You need to work hard in order to get the wealth, because it is bestowed by the God. Alright, everyone have been said to have their own rizki and whatnot, and all property that has a money value or exchangeable value is wealth. Okay, something that have value. Okay, for example, a computer has a value, a mobile phone has a value. So this is what we can call wealth. Okay, so an income beyond the daily and basic requirement of a family, or surplus income. So when you have spent your money and you still have abundance of money left unused, so that is wealth. Okay, and the features is accumulation of income over a period of time will create wealth. So if you keep your money, if you save money, and eventually it will create wealth. So this is the definition of wealth in Islam. So the simplest form of definition of wealth is one who is having surplus income. So that is the definition of wealth in Islam. So on top of that, no matter how it is defined, wealth is the element where you holding an asset that have value, and this asset must held over a certain time of period. If something which do not have value, it cannot be an asset. Okay, if you accumulating a chunk of things that do not have value, we cannot say that is your wealth. Okay, wealth is something that has value and you collect it over time, so that is wealth. Okay, so we have various definitions of wealth, and they are acceptable. Okay, as long as the activities of possessing and also accumulating the asset through the generation of the surplus income are not against the Sharia ruling. Okay, so that is the most important one. You can collect and you can accumulate as many possible wealth that you can earn, but make sure it is complying with Sharia. Now we move to the category of wealth in Islam. So we have immovable properties, movable properties until adornment. We have plenty categories of wealth, but we will look one by one. Okay, immovable properties, for example, like building, house, land, apartment, and factory. Okay, so this is where we put on the top of the list because normally immovable properties are not cheap, they are expensive, and it has accumulated value over the time. Can, for example, like house, any property. The second one, movable properties, for example, like car, machinery, or any equipment. Okay, things or machine that can move from one place to another. And next one is financial asset or commercial papers. So this is including stock, unit trust, bond, money market instruments, and whatnot. So this is what we call financial asset. Therefore, after this, when you use the term of financial asset, you need to know it referring to the instruments, your stock, your bond, and whatnot. Next one is valuable material. For example, like gold, silver, and whatnot. Okay, minerals that we get from the earth. And next one is valuable gemstones. It is basically a valuable and precious stone like diamonds, ruby, and whatnot. Next one is energy sources. For example, like petroleum, oil itself. We have object of art. For example, like antiques item. Okay, art collection and whatnot. So that is why you can see, sometimes you can see that rich people like to collect painting or any antique things and whatnot. Animals also can be categories of the wealth as well. For example, your livestock, your cow, goats, chicken, and whatnot, because it has value, and you have sell it, you can get money from the animals. And the last one is adornment. Adornment is any valuable or adorable or beautiful items that has value. Okay, these are the Islamic perspective of wealth. So basically, wealth is a gift from Allah to an individual where he chooses entirely at his own discretion or will. So if Allah decide to provide you with abundance of wealth, so it is your rizqi and you should be grateful for that. Okay, so here are some evidence from the Quran. The life of this world is alluring to those who reject faith, and they scoff at those who believe, but the righteous will be above them on the day of resurrection, for Allah bestow his abundance without measure on whom he will. And another verse, it is he who has created for you all things that are on the earth. So in fact, the Quran contains many verses that covers commerce, wealth, and success. That is why Islam emphasizes the Muslim to have wealth in their life. Okay, Islam is ad-din and it emphasizes on both worldly and hereafter. Therefore, Islam also concerned on what happened in this world and encourage you to achieve success or wealth in the world and also in the hereafter. So spiritual success is very important as well, not limited to your success in the world. So Islam also encourage individuals to work hard to ensure that the Muslims are wealthy and able to use your wealth to give sadaqah, to give donation, to give for wakaf and whatnot. So you can create a physically and spiritually a strong Muslim. In fact, Islam also condemns indolence, inactivity, and poverty. Alright, so that is why once Prophet has stated that poverty is disbelief in Allah. Okay, so as a good Muslim, you need to work hard to achieve success and to create more wealth in your life. Okay, in the comment section below, you need to share your view, alright, on this statement, poverty is disbelief in Allah. Why the Prophet state this statement? Okay, please share your view in the comment section below. So I will check it one by one later on. Okay, now let's move on the next one. Okay, in Islam, the accumulation of wealth is allowed. Yeah, in fact, in some circumstances, in some condition, acquiring wealth becomes mandatory. And it is also important to be reminded that there should be never an abuse or misuse of wealth. So when you acquire your wealth, use it for the good purposes. Okay, a good Muslim should treat the wealth as a form of trial by Allah, and it is Amanah from Allah, and you need to manage them wisely. Okay, because you can use this wealth in order to be in order to achieve success in the world and the future, and also to create more wealth and to have more good deeds, yeah, to be rewarded in the hereafter. Okay, the first one, wealth is a form of trial by Allah towards His servant, and it has been mentioned in the Quran. Okay, accumulation or okay, so the wealth should not be abused and misused. Okay, like I've mentioned just now, it is a form of trial by Allah. So in this case, you need to manage your wealth wisely, use it for the good purposes only. And now that your properties and your children are but a trial, and that it is Allah with whom He lies your highest reward. So it been mentioned here that properties and children is a trial by Allah. So how you shape them and how you use property will get back to you later on. So if you manage them wisely, you take a good care of your children, so you will get the highest reward in your life from Allah. And number two, wealth is a trust or amanah from Allah. So wealth and children are the adornment of the life of the world, but the good righteous deed that last are better with your Lord for rewards and better in respect of hope. Okay, it's good. It is similar like the previous verse. It mentioned that wealth and children is amanah from Allah, and they are the adornment in life. So when you take a good care of your wealth and children, your good righteous deed will be rewarded by Allah, and spend of that whereof He has made you trusty. And the third one, wealth as means to achieve al-Falah. So acquire as much possible wealth that you can earn from your hard work. So whenever you have the wealth, please use it for the good purpose. Use it to achieve your success. Okay, in the world and also in the hereafter. So you spend money to your family, you spend money to other people in needs. Okay, therefore you need to also use your wealth to strive for the cause of Allah, and whenever it good for you, it will good for other people. And stop using your wealth for sinful activities, because it will not bring you to something which is good. Okay, condition to acquire wealth in Islam. There are 5. The first one is acquire through legal and halal means. So the acquisition of wealth from the business activities or any investment activities not only must be legal, but most importantly, it must be halal and follow the Sharia. In addition, the important condition is the wealth must be Sharia compliant, and at the same time you need to have the knowledge of what and how the wealth to be acquired, and you need to make sure the wealth acquired is legal, and any illegal means of acquiring of the asset should be stopped, and it cannot be acceptable in the Islamic perspective. The second one is where wealth acquired to be spent in the way of Allah. So as a good Muslim, you need to remember Allah in whatever you do. Therefore, when you want to acquire your wealth, you need to have the good intention. Okay, you want to acquire the wealth for the sake of the Allah, and to distribute the acquired wealth in activities which is not against the religion of Islam. Number 3, accumulated in an honest manner. So Islam encourage the Muslim to be honest, truthful, and have sincerity. Therefore, when you want to acquire the wealth, it should not at the expense of other people. You should not take advantage with other people, and you need to abide to the law. Alright, so you cannot do something which is illegal in order to acquire the wealth. So through this means, a Muslim will be respected for what they are doing, as long as they are sincere and trustworthy. Number 4, manage the wealth in a responsible manner. So the acquisition of wealth supposedly to be benefiting not only to you but also your family and the community as the whole. Okay, this is where we want to show, Islam wants to show that Muslim is not a selfish, but they are responsible and concerned with the needs of other Muslim at that community or area, so even though to the Muslim or non-Muslim. So they encourage the Muslim to help and provide alms among each other, okay, regardless of the religions, the colors of the skin, and whatnot. And the last one is maintaining the faith in Allah. When you want to work hard, when you want to acquire more wealth, it should not distract you from maintaining a good strong faith in Allah. Okay, you need to perform your salah. Okay, please do avoid being too busy with your work, and you do not maintain a good relationship with Allah. In fact, wealth should make Muslim closer to Allah by being thankful for providing you with this gift, which is the wealth. Okay, therefore, in a nutshell, all these conditions should be applied in all activities of a Muslim when you want to acquiring or accumulating your wealth. So these activities can be done in form of investing, trading, or working hard in your occupations. Okay, how you should spend your wealth in Islam. Okay, so here are the lists that how you should spend your wealth according to the importance first. Okay, the first category, for own basic expenditure or for own basic needs. So wealth accumulated must be used firstly to yourself to meet your own expenditure. Okay, after you fulfill all your needs, okay, when you have extra money, now you can use for your family members. So you provide money to your family members, your immediate relative, or any person under your care. So a Muslim must be responsible enough that the fund should be allocated to meet the needs to your immediate family members, your poor relative, or any person that you are taking care with. Okay, next one, the needy brothers. Okay, Islam strongly encourage Islamic spending activities so that you can be rewarded in hereafter, and it is important because later on in hereafter you will be questioned on how and for what you have used your wealth and how you spend your wealth. So it is important for you to channel your fund through sadaqah, tabaruk, wakaf, wasa, and hibah, so that your wealth is not only benefiting you and your family but your community, that is the Muslim as a whole. Okay, the necessity of wealth in Islam. Okay, wealth become a necessity or even mandatory due to these following factors. The first one, wealth leads to a peace of mind to remember Allah. Okay, wealth not only brings comfort physically, but it leads to spiritual comfort because you make a close relationship to Allah. You are becoming very thankful to Allah for providing you with this gift, which is the wealth. Number two, to increase the knowledge and skills. Wealth, when you are having wealth leads to the ability to spend on increasing your knowledge on Islam, improving skill in order to acquiring more wealth. So you spend your money to get new knowledge, to learn more about Islam, to learn more on how you can accumulate more wealth from the investment activities and whatnot. Next one, wealth lead to ability to help other Muslim. Okay, when you have wealth, it allows you to be a good Muslim by helping other poor Muslim. Okay, without having wealth, you cannot help the other Muslim, and you has not be able to go to do good deeds. Yeah, because you are not financially stable. So when you do not have a good financial or wealth, so it is quite impossible for you to help the other Muslim. Yeah. Next one, poverty leads to exploitation by the wealthy. By having wealth, it avoids you from being poor, and it avoids you from being exploited by the wealthy. So when there is exploitation, the poor will not able to have the opportunity to create more wealth, and you will remain poor. Next one, to strengthen your faith. Okay, poverty may lead a person, or it may lead you to question your faith, and thus it will weaken your faith in Allah. Okay, the questioning of faith is what a Muslim should be avoided. When you question your condition, why I become the poor people, why this kind of thing happened to me. Okay, you should avoid doing this. A person who is poor can lead to a declining in faith to Allah. You will blame Allah for your current situation, and therefore wealth is one of the requirements for maintaining and strengthening the wealth. Maintaining and strengthening your faith to Allah. When you, like I've mentioned before, when you have a good wealth, you believe in Allah, you love Allah, you strengthen your relationship with Allah and whatnot. So that is why the Prophet stated that poverty is disbelief in Allah. Okay, so therefore, in order to acquire wealth, work hard. Alright, pray more, so that you can achieve what you have hoped for. Hi, now let's continue on the necessity from a nation point of view. So at the macro level, when all Muslims are wealthy, it will provide benefit to the country as well. Therefore, a wealthy nation will able to protect the country from any enemies. Okay, it will protect the country from any exploitations, where the poor country may not succumb to decision of the rich nation, which in most cases not in favor of the poor country. So in order to be respected and not to be taken advantage by other rich country, so we need to become a wealthy country so that we cannot be exploited by other rich country. The second one, when the country is rich, they are able to spread Islam or dispute misconception. This is where understanding each other religion is very important component to live in a peaceful world. Thus, when a Muslim countries have a good financial resources to travel and to spread the religion, it will increase the knowledge on Islam to other people. So people will not get confused with Islam. They might want to be a Muslim. Yeah, when they know about Islam, when they understand the basic Islamic teaching in life that cover the world and hereafter. Okay, so when you have a good country, you can use the money to spread the knowledge of Islam to other people and to the other religion. Next one, when we in a rich country, okay, rich country able to lead into a surplus production. So from an economic perspective, surplus production is better than subsistence level of production. Okay, when you are able to produce more goods, more services, you can export your goods and services, and therefore you can acquire more wealth to the country. Because a country with a lot of resource is good enough as compared to a country which having low resources and whatnot. Okay, and next one, wealth country able to serve the needs of other. So they able to provide charitable, they provide basic facilities. So the citizens, the people live in that country will be living in a good way. In addition, wealthy individual will lead to charitable society. So ability to serve the needs of other will lead to goodwill and social harmony, not only to among the Muslim but also among the other religion. Okay, when you become a rich person, you able to provide charity, give donation to other people regardless their religion and their background. Important because sharing the wealth, okay, can promote social harmony. Okay, and Allah encourage the propagation in Islam. So it is important when the country can become a wealth country, and at the same time you can use the wealth in order to help other people, and therefore you can promote Islam to the other religion. The concept of debt in Islam. Debt is essential in life and it able to enhance income and provide leverage to a person. Okay, and nowadays we can say that debt is one of the important things nowadays, because from the debt itself, when you borrow money from the financial institutions, you can use the money to make a new business and therefore to increase your income. Alright, and it also provide leverage to a person. It provide liquidity for a person to start a new business or to buy anything that will provide future economic value. Debt can be applied from an institution or from individual, mean to say to your friends, your family members and whatnot. Okay, but before that, what is debt? Okay, debt is a person owing wealth or money to another person. Yeah, when the debtor promise to pay back the same value that he borrowed from that person. Therefore, debt is allowed in Islam. So basically, like I've mentioned before, debt is essential in life. Including to a Muslim, they need to borrow money from the financial institutions and individual. Alright, especially a person is entrepreneur. It is important for the entrepreneur to borrow money to set up new business or to invest to a new joint venture. With that, a person is able to enhance his profit and also to enhance their income from the business that he built just now. So, in whatever form of business or investment activities made by a person, debt become an important aspect. Consider whether of individual or a corporation. So, many institutions nowadays offering debt in order to help business or the economy. So, not limited to institutions, we individual who provide financing. Okay. So this kind of person normally in our immediate is can we borrow money from our friend, our family members, not. Okay. But on top of that, we need to make sure when you borrow money from a financial institution or you borrow money from a person, you must make sure the borrowing activities, the borrowing agreement free from any riba or interest. Okay. Instead of giving charity, Islam also encourage the Muslim to give loan. Yeah. The Prophet once said that the upper hand is better than the lower hand. Okay. So when you become a person who need money, you cannot just accept a charity. So use the money. Please do borrow money with the intention to pay back the loan. So that one is a good noble attitude that you can take. Okay, borrow money and pay back. Do not just doing nothing at home, just waiting to receive a charity from other people. Why don't you borrow money from other people and work hard to pay back and get a profit from what kind of business that you buat tadi lah. Okay. So Islam encourage the borrowing free from any element of interest, and you need to make sure it is based on Qardul Hasan. Okay. Benevolent loan, meaning to say you borrow 1,000 and you pay back 1,000 ringgit. Same goes to the lender. Okay, do not request more than the amount that you give to the borrower for lending. Okay, and another thing is that must be put in writing. Okay, it is important to make a contract between two of these contracting parties in order to avoid dispute later on. So this will function as an evidence. Okay, because debt is something which is serious. Okay, even when you die, you need to settle your debt. If not, all your deeds and whatnot will not be accounted and whatnot. Okay, and last one, debt must be paid back. So this is what I have said just now. Debtor's soul is hanging in the hereafter and not accepted by Allah. As long as you not pay back the debt, so your soul will still be hanging. Okay, so it is important for you after you die. You can inherit. You can make a will for your family members to pay the debt on behalf of you. Okay, let's continue on the condition of debt in Islam. The first one, debt must be from any interest or based on Qardul Hasan. Okay, Islam does not permit any form of increase from the amount borrowed. So the concept of Qardul Hasan is a debt that allows the flexibility to the borrower to repay in specific time frame, but with the similar amount of loan. You borrow 1,000 and you pay back 1,000 ringgit. If there any increase or addition to the principal amount that you need to pay, it can be categorized as riba. For example, okay, the lender give you 1,000 ringgit and you are required to pay back 1,500 ringgit. Alright, the 500 ringgit will be riba and is sinful. Number two, debt must be in written form. So all the terms and conditions of a debt must be put in writing. Okay, this is where you will form an agreement or contract in order to make sure both of the contracting parties, which is the lender and the borrower, know what is their responsibility. They understand all the terms and conditions, and they know how much money that they have indebted among each other. Number three, that must be paid back by the borrower. So this condition is placed upon the borrower. This is responsibility of the borrower. When you borrow money, you must have the intention to pay back the money. So a debtor should be responsible to pay back the amount that he borrowed from the lender. And one of the important part for the lender, before you give loan ataupun financing to the borrower, you need to know his financial condition or background. Kan, if he borrow this sum of amount, okay, does he have the capacity ataupun capability to pay back the debt on a timely manner? Okay, so you need to see on this part, if not, the borrower not able to pay back the debt to the lender. Number 4, you need to fulfill the requirement of the debt transaction. So what are the requirements? The first one is the utterance of the akad, spoken offer and acceptance between two of the contracting parties. Okay, so this will show the agreement between all these contracting parties. Kan, spoken offer and acceptance between two contracting parties. I'm giving you this 5,000 ringgit for loan and you pay back within 1 year. So I agree and I will pay back this agreement for 1 year. So that is the akad between two parties here. And the writer of the debt must be fair and just. Okay, the writer should be trusted by both contracting parties and able to follow the instruction from both parties. Okay, this is the person who make the agreement lah. We call it writer of the debt. So this person involved preparing the documentation, the contract or the agreement. Number 3, witness to the debt transaction. You need to have minimum at least 2 parties to the debt transaction. And the last one, stated amount or wealth borrowed. Okay, details of the transaction such as amount borrowed must be clearly stated in the agreement so that the lender know how much you indebted with him and the borrower know how much you need to pay to the lender. Okay, these are the objectives of Islamic financial planning. The first one, it is important for you to have Islamic financial planning because you want to bring prosperity and to have a blessed life. Okay, you want to accumulate more wealth, so a good planning will help you to reach the goals, and you want to have blessed life. When you become a wealthy people, you can use a lot of your wealth for the charitable people, to the charitable purposes, and to help other people. Okay, number 2, provide financial stability. You doesn't have to worry about your financial stability because if something happened to you, you have a strong financial backup. You have savings, you have insurance and whatnot. Number 3, to achieve financially independence. So this is why you doesn't have to depend with other people, where your investment can run by itself, your business can run by itself. Okay, this is why you're going to achieve the financial freedom where the money or other people will work on you. Okay, and last one, preparation for the hereafter. When you have accumulated enough wealth, when you feel that the wealth is enough for you, you can just focus more on your ibadah. Okay, maintain good relationship with the God and whatnot. Okay, let's see the explanation on the objective of financial planning. The first one, bring prosperity and blessed life. So how you can achieve this? So the first one, you need to concern on the concept of halal and haram in earning. So you need to make sure your salary, income received from the investment and whatnot is halal. Please do avoid doing illegal activities or job, investing in non-Sharia compliance investment instruments. Yeah, that one should be avoided. You need to make sure your income is halal and you invest in Sharia compliance instruments. You need to understand the concept of tawakal and rida, and you need to concern about barakah concept. So when your earnings is halal, and it will create more barakah. Okay, you will not having a shortage of income. It will be easy for you to spend your money and whatnot. And then you need to be able to spend your money on the right priorities. Please do avoid something which is not beneficial to you and your family, something which is not priority. Objective number 2, providing financial stability, earnings equal to consumption. So in this case, the first thing is you need to identify current financial positions. So you need to understand your financial status. Okay, what is your monthly income? What is your monthly expenses and whatnot? So you need to find your net worth. Asset minus liability, and you can find your net worth. So when you found and when you know about your net worth, amount of money that left after you pay all your monthly installment and expenses, alright, from there you need to adopt appropriate lifestyle. Okay, if you fall under the category of lower income, you need to know how to spend your money, alright, ataupun you can adopt intermediate income, you can adopt a high income level punya lifestyle. It depends on your value of net worth. So solution of this, if you're having a financial problems, you can try to find solution. For example, you can go for Arahnu to pledge your gold jewelry, or you can apply Qardul Hasan financing from your immediate family members or any Islamic financial institutions. And you can manage your tax to make sure that you do not pay too much tax to the government. Okay, so there are plenty method to reduce tax payment to the government and whatnot that you need to learn. Objective number 3 is to be financially independent. How to achieve this? You need to have good investment, okay? Because investment is where money creates money. For example, you can invest in any properties, shares, bond, unit trust, and whatnot. Okay. Number 2, you need to have takaful protection. It is important for you to have takaful protection to protect your savings. Let's imagine when you do not have any takaful, when you have a serious disease, you need to be admitted to the hospital, you need to use your money, your own savings money, to pay for the medical bills. And when we talk about medical bills, it is not cheap. So you are going to spend all your savings money just to pay for your medical bills. We want to avoid using our savings to pay for the medical bills. That is why we need to have takaful protection. Having a retirement planning scheme, a pension, EPF, life annuity, to make sure we are able to survive after the retirement. And we need to have alternative of income. So having alternative income will help you to achieve your financial goals earlier than you expected. You can do LMN, you can do direct selling, involving in e-business, takaful, agent, or become the unit trust agent. So this is how you can generate more income. You do part-time jobs. Yeah. Objective number 4 is preparation for the hereafter life. How to achieve this? You can use your money, what you have, to invest in knowledge. You learn about the religion, use the money to perform Hajj pilgrimage, one of the pillars of Islam, paying zakat as well, giving sadaqah, a charity, or buying land or any kind of things for wakaf purposes. And then at the end, for asset distribution, you need to preparing your wasiat and hibah to your family members, and not to forget about fara'id. In general, Islamic financial planning very much similar to the conventional financial planning. It will provide this kind of benefit. The first one, it improves the standard of living. So when one has the financial capacity, you will be able to live in appropriate living style. You can provide comfort to yourself and your family, and therefore it will bring happiness, yeah, to yourself, and also you can be prosperous. You can have the wealth in your life. The second one, to minimize the financial disaster. Financial needs may not be consistent, okay, throughout the life of a person. There will be a situation when you suddenly needs emergency fund. For example, you're falling sick, ataupun you involved in major accident. So those kind of thing requires money to fix ataupun to pay for the services. Alright, without careful financial planning, a person savings can be wiped out because of this risk ataupun accident tadi lah, rumah terbakar ke apa. If you don't have good financial planning, kan semua duit you akan habis juga. And number 3, ability to invest optimally. Wealth generation and accumulating of wealth can also be done systematically. So this is where you can invest optimally by knowing which investment instruments that provide higher return. Okay, but then it must be suitable on your personality. Kan, are you the risk adverse kind of person ataupun risk taker? And the last one, accumulate sufficient wealth over time. Financial planning will help you to achieve your financial freedom, and not only for the short term but for the long term. Okay, at the end, after you retired, you can have a very peaceful and comfort retirement. Okay, this is where you can enjoy your money, go for vacation, having comfortable life in your house, and living with your family. Now we will continue on the personal financial planning process. We have 5 steps. The first one, you need to assess the current financial resources. The second one, to define financial goals. The third one, develop systematic financial plans. Number 4, implement financial plans. And number 5, monitor result and review your plan or goals that you have made earlier. Okay, the first step is assess current financial resources or your financial status. Okay, how you are going to do this? Okay, the first one is you need to assess your current financial status. How? You need to list down all your assets and all your liabilities, and at the same time you can list all your income sources and also your expenditure. So you are preparing your cash inflow and balance income statement. Okay, so asset minus liability, you will get your net worth, mean to say your true wealth, while income minus expenses, you can get your net savings. If negative, mean to say the income that you receive is not enough to cover your expenses. So detailed explanation on this will be explained in the second chapter. So for the second step this is where you define your financial goals. What is your financial goals? What you want to achieve? What is your aspiration? Okay, goals are what individual wants to achieve in a business or investment that they perform. So goals depends on a person's needs, personality, attitude, and value. Okay, generally, it is about the 5 C's: your career, credit card, car, condominium, and club membership. So this is what people aspire to have. Yeah, when you joining the industry and you have a good job later on. And in addition to that, you want your financial objective is where you want to buy a house, you want to have education fund for your kids, you want to have enough retirement fund, and of course you want to buy a luxury house. So when you set up your financial goals, please do design your goals based on this diagram. You need to consider your needs, wants, personality, attitude, and also values. Okay, these are the example of personal financial goals. Okay, if you can see here, goals. These are the financial goals made by this person. Okay, he want to have double-story house. He wants to have annual vacation, a retirement fund, education fund for children, and to perform Hajj. So these are the goals set up by this person. So after you set up the goals, you need to place the priority of each of the goals. Kan, sama ada medium, low to high priority. For this person, the purchase or buying double-story house falls under medium priority. Tapi untuk education fund for the children under high priority. So you set the target when you want to achieve the goals and the amount that you need to have to reach the target. Okay. So when you define a financial goals, make sure you prepare it for long and short-term goals. It must be realistic, something that you can achieve based on your current financial income. It must be specific and quantifiable. Okay, how much? Can 100,000 ringgit. Specific when we want to have those 1,000 ringgit. You need to set the date, and you must set the priorities: medium, intermediate, medium, low ataupun high priorities. Step number 3 is where you develop systematic financial plan. Okay, this is where you need to design a financial plan based on your financial resources. So you need to, in your financial plan, you need to prepare a various financial plans under your plans. Okay, you need to include saving plans, investment plan, liability plan, housing plan, retirement plan, estate plan, and the last one, insurance plan. Okay, step number 4, this is where you need to implement your financial plan. I know it is not easy to implement what you have planned, but you need to have a good discipline. You need to follow what have been decided. Okay, you need to maintain your good discipline from time to time, and you need to eventually review the progress. Kan, if you fail to follow what you have planned, so you need to review back the plans or goals in step number 5. Okay, monitoring closely is very important so that you are not shifted from what you have planned. If the progress seems to be very slow, do some corrective action. So revise back what you have planned. Maybe what you have planned is not suitable for your current lifestyle, ataupun you need to change your lifestyle in order to suit with what you have planned. So you need to look which one is appropriate. Okay, at the end, you need to revise your goal. If the financial condition become unrealistic, so you might having a problem to follow what you have planned. I think that's all for this chapter. If you have question, you can ask me in the comment section below, and please do subscribe to my YouTube channel, and we will see you in the next class.